Hi, my name is Chanel Elidianna. I'm a confidence coach, thought provocateur, I'll get more into that, creative communications consultant, and an advocate for authentic communication. You might have seen my posts dotted around. I'm always talking about love, emotions, how you feel, authentic communication. I'm not sad, I'm just interested. Stick with me. Here we express our love for authentic communication. Oh my gosh, it is so hot. Have you ever had somebody tell you something about you that was supposed to be so true, that was so far from the truth, and you nearly believed it? So today's conversation is knowing the difference between your voice and the voices of others, so that you do not get caught up in other people's thoughts and their encounters. Not allowing the opinions of others to distract you from what you know to be true of yourself. We're also going to look into how conversations with the heart, speaking from the heart, from an authentic place, can benefit you, and why it's important to start speaking from there from a very young age. I am not an expert in matters of the heart. I have, however, seen, witnessed, and even experienced a few questionable scenarios that have led to justifiable conclusions. It's really that simple. But you are in safe hands. Let's get into it. People will have their opinions of you. Sometimes those opinions are founded on a clear intention to lie, and others just misunderstand you. But the ones that purposely go out of their way to make you feel something and believe something that isn't true are dangerous. I don't want to give them an excuse, but a large proportion of those people just don't know how to express how they feel. I'm not a psychologist, but I do like to read a person or two. Maybe everybody. Don't judge me. When we were children, we were told the do's and the don'ts. We were also willing to explore because we were fearless. Speaking about how we felt was natural. Somewhere along that journey, whether it was an experience or a person, it taught us to keep it inside. Children are completely authentic in their pursuit to gain your attention. They will let you know when they're angry, when they are in need of affection, when they need someone to talk to, when they need someone to hug. They have developed their own fearless authenticity. I think it's time to share with you what led me to becoming an advocate for authentic communication and speaking from the heart. I wish it was a moment where I woke up in the morning, I had an epiphany, and I was like, from today, I want to be completely authentic about what I feel, let it all out. I wish it was like that, but no. Often, traumatic events are the ones that cause breakthroughs to happen in our lives because we have no choice but to take action. And going through a traumatic experience leaves you with so many lessons that you end up learning so much, and you either shut down from that learning process or you decide you want to explore further. I decided to explore further. I mean, I was already writing love songs. My traumatic experience involved a young boy who attended my primary school. He was a year younger than me. And for some reason, I don't know what I did to him at the time, he would call me the most horrendous names. Like, he would say that my head was big, that my lips were rubber, and he'd say that I was ugly. And this kind of went on for a long time. And even though I was a very confident child, after a while of hearing this consistently, it began to chip away. And like any tree that's been chipped away at for long enough in the exact same spot, eventually you might snap or you might just break. I didn't snap, I didn't say anything back, I just broke. I shouldn't laugh. He chipped and chipped away at my self-confidence, and the lies he told me became my lies to myself. And this is why it's so important that we don't take on other people's views of us just because it was said. Just because somebody thought about it, it doesn't mean that it is a reality, which I later on found out. So for a whole year and a half, I became very self-conscious, and having a Jamaican mom meant that I couldn't really go to her at the time. I mean, Jamaican mums have really improved over the years in the sense where they do listen to your emotions, and my mum definitely has. She's a good mum, but at the time that all this was taking place, we never shared our emotions. We never spoke about things like that. It wasn't that we couldn't, we just didn't. So writing became my best friend, my sounding board, and I spent a whole year just writing songs and keeping it to myself, excluding myself from any family photos because at this point I felt that I was ugly. I never got around to telling my mom what actually happened. I developed my own mechanism, my own way of expressing myself, a very private way that was just between me, the paper, and the pen. And that was me. And for a year and a half, I just rolled with the punches. Not physical punches, but verbal punches. Years later, that story took a twist. I bumped into the same guy. As he walked up to me, I could feel my chest tightening. It was like all the emotions that I had associated with him were right in front of me. He says hi, and I think I froze. My hi was so sheepish. I think I might have nodded or something. I don't remember actually saying hello. Is it me you're looking for? That is an occupational hazard. Like when you write songs, every time you hear words that sound similar to somebody else's song or a melody, you just have to sing it out. Like I grew up with a dad that would sing about brushing his teeth. And I think that probably contributed towards the songwriting and these experiences. And then some more and some more and some more. And some heartbreaks and some other things, some angry moments at work and some angry moments while I was studying, and there you go, you got an album. Well, anyway, I digress. I don't remember what happened, but I do remember what happened next. He turns around and he says, "I'm sorry." That was the last thing I was expecting to hear, or even the thing that I was prepared to hear. I don't think I even registered the apology because it was such a shock. But that wasn't the biggest shock. The biggest shock is what came next. He said the reason why he was so mean to me was because he fancied me.
What?
I went through a year of what felt like torture. I mean, I was only 11 years old because he fancied me. You actually liked me. You didn't hate me. I left school every day thinking you hated me. I didn't feel anger. I just wanted to give him a hug. What he showed me was a young boy dealing with these unfamiliar, alien-like emotions that he couldn't understand. He had no one to talk to help him understand them. And because he didn't have that outlet, that conversation that he could have about his heart, he internalized it and he made whatever he was feeling so ugly that he then targeted the person of his affection, unknowing that that person would then carry the weight of what he was not taught for a year and a half of her life. That's why it's so important to teach our young boys and girls how to manage their emotions, how to understand their emotions, how to speak authentically, whether it feels uncomfortable or not. You are your priority. Get rid of every toxin that your body needs to get rid of. There is such a thing as emotional waste. The body gets rid of waste for a reason. Can you imagine? I don't want to visualize. But can you imagine if the body didn't get rid of waste? And if you are a young person and you're filled with emotions that turn toxic, how do you get rid of them if you are unable to talk to the people that are there to care for you? I learned something that day, the penny dropped, and I just decided I weren't just gonna write in my notebook. I was going to talk openly and hope that I could be an example to my family and those around me. And I tried with my mum the first time. She was my first experiment. And the first time it didn't go very well. She said, stay out of big people business. Every now and again she does give me the side eye because she thinks I'm trying to muscle in. More recently, she's asked me how I feel. As parents, one of the best things we can do for our children is to teach them how to communicate. Teach them that they have a safe space. All right, I want to leave you with tips to help you in your household. If you ever thought of becoming the example for something really positive, now's your chance. Maybe you're a parent with small children that are now learning how to articulate themselves and tell you how they feel, or you have adult children that have never been able to express themselves and you want to help guide them in that direction. Maybe you're the child and you've seen your parents constantly hold and bottle everything up and you just wish that they will talk to you. Perhaps you're in a relationship and you love your partner so much, but they seem like a mystery. They might be Scorpio, I'm joking. They seem like a mystery and you're trying to figure out how to get into their heads so that you can help them, because you know they want the help but they just don't know how to ask or what to say. Some people are just so conditioned to be a certain way, they just don't know how. But if you learn how, then you can teach them through your example. Don't teach people by telling them what to do. I'm kind of contradicting myself right now. Okay. Outside of this moment, don't teach people by telling them what to do. Lead by example. So, if you're in that relationship, if you are that parent, if you are that child, or if you are just somebody else that needs somebody else to open up, follow these tips. Tip number 1, be the example you want to see in others. If you don't talk about your emotions, how are you going to expect somebody to open up to you? The double standard rule is ruled out. Hypocrisy is ruled out. You get what you give. Don't be selfish. A one-sided mindset will only give you half the meal, if none at all. So if you want to eat and you want to see things flourish in your life and in your body, learn to give 100%. And you might get 100% back, but that doesn't matter. Give your 100% and know that you are owed 100%. Tip number 2. When we're asking someone to open up, the worst thing we could do is not be available to listen to their answers. And it's not even just about listening to their answers. It's about giving them the grace to answer as they choose, in the way that they like. How can somebody articulate to you, giving you a full understanding of what it is they're going through if they haven't yet figured that out for themselves? We see somebody making steps towards sharing, and we think just because they're making steps, they're ready to run with it. They're just making steps. Chances are they're struggling to make those simple steps. As we're trying to encourage someone to talk more about their emotions, we need to just give them that space to do that. And not have an expectation of how we want that to look like. One of the worst things you can do is encourage someone out of a shell, encourage them out of their box, ease them out. They finally get out, and then just as they're about to come out and face the world, not only are your expectations of what that looks like peaking above what they can do, you're not there. That is my idea of a sad movie. And that is my idea of a terrible ending to a beautiful movie. We don't want those. I hate those. You know, you watch a film and it's got you in your whole feels. Things don't have to be perfect in the end, but can we ease off of the bad ending. And when someone opens their heart to you and you do not meet them halfway, that's a bad ending. You don't want to do that to nobody. There's a saying, strike when the iron is hot, but strike when the iron is cool. Let me explain. You've been doing some amazing work. You've been talking to someone very important in your life, and they have started to show signs of somebody about to take that leap and share what they feel, and you're on the edge of your seat and it's coming, and you want to strike while the iron's hot. Meaning you want to pull out all those gems that they've been keeping to themselves, unknowing that you're affected by it too. This is your moment. This is not your moment. We don't strike when the iron's hot. We strike when it's cool. Everyone needs time, and everyone takes their own length of time to feel comfortable with the steps that they are taking. When someone gets that space to process what you're saying, how they're feeling, then when they come back to you, they come back to you as someone that is fully informed of who they are. If anyone is going through that transition of being closed to trying to be open, give them time in order to connect the dots. Understand that when they're stepping, they're really stepping. They're not stepping and it looks like running. It's not running to them. It looks like running to you. So meet them where they're at without them feeling that you expect them to be further ahead than they actually are. You will get better results, I promise. Smile. Smile because you got this under control, because you're available, because you understand that every day is a blessing. One day, that person around you that's feeling down on their luck or unable to share their feelings will look at you, and your smile will be so contagious that they will smile with you. Just like you're smiling with me now. I'm shaking the cheesiest smile ever. Sorry, let me do that. Let me do a better one. Just like you're smiling with me now. Just like you're, no, just stop. Okay, cool. Right, so being a songwriter, I always think of melodies. They kind of come to me frequently. While I was having this conversation with you, this melody just came into my head. When we start talking from an authentic place, it can either draw people to you or it can make them run. And that's also the reason why people don't always talk about how they feel. So this little melody came to mind. Tell me what you think. If I spoke from my heart, would you hear me? If I spoke from my heart, would it draw you near me? Or would it make you run? Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I don't have a song. I didn't have a song. It was just an idea. I think it has potential. Remember to like, subscribe, comment. Till we meet again, your little big sister, Chanel XOXO.